Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide. So, Valentine's Day coming up this soon. This Friday, actually, I thought an episode on spending time alone and falling in love with yourself this Valentine's Day would be a good episode. Even if you are a full-blown extrovert like I am, thrive around people and crowds, it's really important to learn how to comfortably spend time alone and have fun. I love being around people and socializing. Like, I thrive in crowds. I'm one of those kinds of people, and I get kind of lazy and depressed if I go too long without being around my friends. But every single person should definitely learn how to spend time alone and how to actually enjoy it, especially if you're like an extroverted people person. And I feel like it's especially, even if it seems like counterintuitive, it's especially important for extroverts to learn how to spend time alone because they might not always have people to be around. They might only have themselves, and a lot of times extroverts can go into kind of a slump when they only have themselves. Like, I know I have done countless times. Um, so that's really important. That's just something really important that you should know, like how to be with yourself. Yeah, just spend time alone. Maybe on the other hand, you're just lonely or you're not a very social person or like you want to get into your healing area and healing area and like learn about yourself and have some fun. If you want to have a good relationship with other people, you need to have a good relationship with yourself first, so you have something to give to these relationships with other people. Like, date yourself first. I think that's a podcast name. Anyways, it's just really important, like learning to spend time alone. It's also important for like independence and confidence. Like, you don't have to rely on others to figure out where like you don't have to rely on others to figure out that yeah, you're worthy, yeah, you can do things. Spending time alone allows you to figure out your own self-worth. You got your own back, kind of. People say the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have in your life, and that goes with good reasons. Okay, like, you spend a lot of time on yourself your whole life, you might as well have a good relationship with yourself while you're at it. um okay, so that was kind of long, but before moving on, okay, our podcast updates and life updates. I've been flipping like our podcast updates and life updates and then like our book of the week stuff and happiness, gratitude, for the past like 3 episodes. Anyways, so we're gonna get it right this time. So podcasts not really anything. I'm at 871 plays. Like, guys, my goal is to get to like 1,000 by the end of March, and I'm really hoping that's gonna happen. Um, so please make it happen because I really want it to happen, and that's like not my control. Y'all gotta listen to this. So yeah, listen to this. Share it with everyone you know. Go follow me on Instagram. You I can't seem to get a link that works for like just going straight to my profile, but you can search up the Glow Up Guide podcast and make sure like the profile photo matches my cover art. So yeah, it's a noticeable cover art. It's like hot pink. So I think you'll figure it out. But yeah, go follow me on Instagram. Like, help me out. And then life updates. Okay, so some things happened this past week actually. Took this class on drawing hair, a Michael's class, and it was pretty fun. It did not go well because I gave up halfway through on trying to keep up. But I'm definitely gonna look at the recording and finish it up at some point. I say I'm gonna do that, but I'm probably not gonna do it till like spring break, which is, I want to say, 2 months from now. So yeah, we're just gonna have that drawing lying around for 2 months. Anyways, so yeah, I had a volunteer shift. I signed up to volunteer at the library. I signed up for a shift a while ago, so that was fun. It was like this kids event on like creating foil sculptures. And oh, afterwards, these two kids and their mom, they stayed after, and the kids helped me pick up a bunch of chairs. And even one of them can't have been older than 6. The other one is definitely not older than like 3 or 4. But both of them helped me pick up the chairs, and the younger one was struggling so bad because the chairs were like twice his size, and the amount of strength that went into picking up those chairs, like, he did a good job. So that was that. That was really fun. I hung out with some of my friends yesterday. Actually, we went to this Boba place, and then we went to a Giant and got snacks, and just kept like walking around. Oh, at some point we were in the Giant, and we were just like doing TikTok dances. It was really funny. And then there was no one in that like corner of the store, so we were just chilling there and doing our freaking TikTok dances. And then this lady walks by and she's like, and then I'm like to my friend, get your phone, and she's like, shoot, okay, so what were we looking at, guys? And then the lady goes, oh, sorry, I just needed like one thing, and then you guys can go back, and then you girls can go back to like your rehearsing or whatever. It was so funny, but she was like so nice about us just being chickens in a corner of the giant. So that was really funny. But that was a lot of fun yesterday. And then what else? I mentioned that I was writing a letter to my future self last episode, and I said I might share what I wrote with you guys. Did not finish that, so maybe next week. Yeah, just didn't finish it. I don't know why. I've had enough free time this past week. I feel like I've just been doing a bunch of other things though when I could have been working on the letter. Kind of blanked on what to write. Like I had so much things to write when I started this, but now I can't seem to remember any of them, and I'm just like rambling. Um, so that's fun, but maybe next week. Okay, and now one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy with. One thing I'm grateful for. Let's see. I may or may not have mentioned this one, but books. I read a lot, and that takes up a lot of my free time, and I'm just grateful to have access to books because you can learn a lot from really any book. Books can teach you so much, and even if it's just fiction, it seems pointless, but there have been lots of studies. I know my old elementary school used to have this poster it was like a poster to remind kids to read, because kids who read for even just 20 minutes every single day have been proven to do 80%, 90% better on literacy tests and in English classes all through school. And I think the amount I read is a big part of why I did so well in English, both in my old school and now. Even though I suck at grammar, that's not the point. I'm good. I'm good enough in English. Um, so yeah, I feel like I'm better than I would have been if I didn't read that much. So books can really teach you a lot, and I'm grateful for having access to so many books. Because there's lots of people that don't have access to books, and that's something that we should all be grateful for. Okay, and one thing I'm happy about. Um, let's see, one thing. There's a lot to be happy about actually. So let me think of something. I feel like I mentioned this a lot, but my hair is like hairing today. Okay? Like my curls are curling, whatever it is. My hair looks so freaking good. And if anyone has curly hair out there, maybe like once a week, not every single time you wash your hair, or if you wash your hair once a week, then yes, every single time you wash your hair. Um, but with curly hair, you get a lot of like product buildup, okay? Because of all the random products you have to use. So, clarifying and like shampooing your hair properly is really important, especially if you oil your hair like I do. So that's really important. Getting your hair like fully cleaned. And something you can do, and no, whenever there's too much product buildup on your hair, it'll get weighed down by that buildup, and your curls won't be as defined, and like they'll look really flat, and you won't get as much volume. But if you clean them well, then you'll get good curls. Okay, so brush your shampoo through your hair. Um, my curls are literally like twice as defined as they were, and I think I had a lot of product buildup, and I was trying really hard to like scrub. But I saw this reel on Instagram the other day that showed this girl brushing um shampoo through her hair, and it worked like really well. So I'm gonna start doing that from now on. It's giving me like crazy definition, and it's also like minimized frizz. I don't know if it has anything to do with like minimizing frizz, but I feel like there's a lot less frizz in my hair today than normal. So that's something I'm happy about, and that's something you should try if you have curly hair, or just like weighed down hair. Like maybe your hair is just weighed down a lot. Like if you have honestly something with straight hair, like straight hair gets greasy like really fast. So like if you have straight hair and it gets really greasy fast, then maybe you can try brushing um the shampoo through your hair, unless like brushing your hair when it's wet causes a bunch of damage and like hair fall. So that's something to be cautious of, but I definitely think you should try it because it works really well. My hair actually feels like really clean. So yeah, that's that. Okay, and our book of the week is, let's see, I've read a bunch of books this week. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And I get that this is a fantasy book, but it's actually a really good book. I know, if you listen to any of my book episodes, I do not like fantasy books. I found literally 5 fantasy books that I like in a long time. Like 5 or 6 good fantasy books. But this one is actually really good. I think I'm gonna finish the series. I'm like, like 2/3 done with the book, and it's about this girl. Um, she's a human girl, Jude, and she was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen to live in the treacherous High Court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, despite her mortality. But many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win at Place of Court, she must defy him and face the consequences. As Jude becomes more deeply embroiled in palace intrigues and deceptions, she discovers her own capacity for trickery and bloodshed. But as betrayal threatens to drown the courts of Fairy in violence, Jude will need to risk her life in a dangerous alliance to save her sister and Fairy itself. So this is a really good book so far. There's a surprising twist at the point where I am right now. So yeah, I definitely think you should read it. It's a really good book. I think I'm gonna finish out the series. So yeah, despite it being a fantasy book, I really like it. So that's saying something considering how much I do not like fantasy books. But this one's good. Yeah. Okay, so getting on with the actual stuff of this episode. Spending time alone is really important, and I wanted to talk about this not really coming much from experience, but from inexperience. I'm in school, so I'm always around people because I got lucky and I have friends in every single one of my classes. I thrive like that. When I'm busy or when I'm constantly around people, like I thrive. I have my New Year's resolution to make plans with someone at least once every weekend, and I have failed. At the time I was writing this, I said only once this whole year, but this time it's been like 2 times, 3 times, and considering it's only like February, not even like the middle of February, I don't think that's very good, but I'm working on it. I'm trying a lot harder to get it to work. So yeah, that's that. But not super bad, in my opinion. But all that other time outside of school and my social plans is spent alone for the most part. I spend a good chunk of time alone in my room doing whatever, and I barely come downstairs unless it's time to like work out, which is still alone. And even though I'm downstairs, eat, watch TV, or ask someone something, and asking someone something takes literally 2 minutes. Not a ton of time, and 2 of those are still things where I'm mainly alone, and I'm still learning how to spend time alone that doesn't involve being on a phone or something, and working on having hobbies and trying to do things by myself that are actually like emotionally productive. Like baking, that's something I'm trying to get into more because I love baking, and I finally figured out a bunch of things where I've gone wrong with like my eggless baking. So I'm trying to like work on improving my eggless baking, and I also want to learn how to cook on a stove. This seems really trivial and dumb, but I cannot cook on a stove to save my life. Everything I used to be really into like baking sweets and stuff, but now I'm trying to get like I'm learning how to do like pastas and like cooking over a stove because I cannot use a stove to save my life. Okay, I can't boil water to save my life. It took me 30 minutes to figure out how to get the water to boil. It should take 10. So that's saying something about my inexperience with cooking with the stove. I've gotten better at boiling water though. So yeah. My friend said I'm the type to burn water. Okay, I cannot cook to save my life, and yes, I'm surprised I didn't burn the stupid water the first time I tried to boil it. But despite how wrong everything goes, I usually end up with a edible finished product. So that says something about my cooking skills. I don't really know what it says, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it says something. So that's what's important there. Anyway, okay, so I'm rambling. That's why I wanted to talk about this topic, and also because I thought it would be a good topic with Valentine's Day coming up this Friday. Being alone will also help you find things to do, and that can be useful. I mean, you don't want to spend 12 hours there on your phone. That would just suck, and you would also get pretty tired and have a massive headache afterwards. You can literally just sit in silence. Great way to clear your head. Sometimes I just get so damn bored, and I will just put on some music and just sit there. There's too much noise in our lives, so spending time alone can help us silence that. We get good ideas for stuff like problems, and we're having our ideas for a project or something like that because we can actually hear ourselves think without the mess of other people's thoughts or advice messing our own thought process up. I get my best ideas when I'm just doing nothing. That's how I get 90% of my ideas for this podcast. And yet, one more thing that spending time alone can teach you is being independent. Like I said earlier, maybe like all the outside of school time and like social plans that time that I spend largely alone is how I became and am such an independent person. Well, kind of. Yeah, we're working on that, but like I've never people. I try my best not to, like, rely on other people. I hate asking people for help, and it was a lot, like, really problematic, actually, in the past, but, like, that's something I'm working on, and it's like, oh god, I'm going so off topic with this, but, like, I try not to rely on other people. I don't think I rely on other people that much, maybe more than I want to, yes, but less than other people I know, also yes. Um, I'm the kind of organized person who literally holds their family together by a very thin thread. Could also be because I'm the eldest daughter, but I'm the one that people have to ask about leaving times and things happening, and I manage the Google Calendar of chaos, as I call it now. But spending time alone teaches you how to be more responsible and look after yourself, which is a really useful skill in life. You can learn to rely on yourself for stuff. And if you don't have a lot of friends already and you lose them for some reason, you don't have to worry about it because you have yourself as a friend. You like have to learn to live in your own company because you're stuck with yourself for a really long time, so you might as well learn to enjoy it. Spending time alone and building that self-reliance can be extremely useful, and that bit is something from experience. Also, when you're by yourself, you can have a better experience. Other people won't ruin it for you or taint it for you. If you go to a restaurant with someone and they say they low-key hate the food, but you love it, then you're gonna be like, well, you're making it kind of hard to enjoy the food now. When you're by yourself, though, that won't happen. You can enjoy the food as much as you want to. You can experience the moment however you want to and however much you want to. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a bunch of ways to spend time alone. You can come back to this episode really whenever you're bored and you need something to do by yourself. Write a few of these down as a sticky note and stick it where you'll see it so you have those few ideas for what to do when you're really bored and alone. I also will share my experience and tell you some ways to make the most out of it. Okay, so first thing is to cook or bake something, literally anything. I used to cook and bake like all the time, but then I kind of stopped and I didn't really do it as much as I used to. Now one of my hobbies on my list this year is to do more, like one of my hobbies to do more of. Okay, I can't speak. This year is cooking and baking. So I'm trying my best to like cook or bake something at least once a week, and it's not really going great, but unimportant. But cooking or baking is such a fun thing to do when you're alone, and you get something hopefully yummy to eat afterwards. So it's a win-win. Plus, in my case, something will always, without fail, go wrong and take an extra hour to fix. But it's fine because I have the time to kill anyways. I always schedule like an extra hour for the thing that goes wrong. Pinterest is amazing for recipes, so is Instagram. I have a board on Pinterest with a dump ton of recipes that I have to try, and I think there's about 100. I've only done maybe 15, so there's some work to do. You can choose some random recipe and play some music in the background. Always a great mood booster, and all the food is just for you. And if you're feeling nice, you can share, but no one's gonna judge you if it looks horrible or something like that. Next one is to work out. Moving your body is good for you in so many ways, anyways. You can put really loud and intense music in the background and work out like that. I like working out with music in the background, but you do you. Running or walking is like the lower intensity version, and it's a great way to get moving for free if you don't have much time. Walking is good because you won't get sweaty afterwards, and it can be good cardio. You can wear a weighted vest if you want in order to increase the intensity. I saw someone on Instagram doing that, and they said just walking became a much more intense workout. Or don't. If you don't like intense workouts, just do what you like and don't make yourself hate working out. I feel like that's what a lot of people do to themselves. They work out just for like the sake of their appearances, and like that makes them really hate it because they push themselves through all these workouts that they hate because everyone else claims they'll get them skinny or like I don't know, something like that. Make them lose weight, do this, do that, yada yada yada. But like don't make yourself hate working out, okay? That's like the worst thing you can do to yourself. Movement is movement. It's different for every single person on this planet. I can usually shower after my workouts and I like pushing myself and doing really intense workouts that make me really sweaty and tired. I hate being tired though. But if it's because of a workout, it just like hits different. I don't know. But other people like my mom, they prefer really low impact, low intensity workouts like walking or stretching, maybe yoga. You just have to find what works for you. Everyone on social media does Pilates and claims to love it, but I tried like a Pilates style workout once and it was the worst thing ever. Absolutely hated it. It was so boring and the absolute worst. If I were to stick with Pilates just because like everyone does it, I would quit working out. Like trust me, I would not have gone with that for more than 3 days. It was the worst thing ever. Pilates sucks. If you like Pilates, no, like you do you. Okay, that's the point of this. But yeah, it was the absolute worst for me. the real key to sticking to something is liking it, whether it's working out or anything else. You have to like it first. Okay, so that was me rambling for a hot minute, but exercising is a good way to clear your head. You become really focused on the workout, and your thoughts and everything just kind of fades out and goes bye-bye, and I don't know, it's a great way to spend time alone. This seems dumb, and it seems like I'm defeating my own point. But watch a new show or a show you haven't watched in a while. Just like don't binge watch a whole season in a day or a few hours straight. Watching TV can be a good thing and a fun thing in moderation. When you watch TV for a really long time, the blue light and stuff, it makes you feel really groggy and tired, which is why we feel like crap when we watch TV for a really long time, or really any screens for a really long time. But in moderation, TV is a fun thing, and like restricting it, like there's these shows that I call my Home Alone shows, or whenever my brother's not there shows. Like I'm watching The Summer I Turned Pretty right now, but my brother's 8.5 and can't exactly watch that, so I can only watch that when my brother's at home. And that's not often. So yes, whenever he isn't home, I will watch TV for an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. But since it's limited, it's not really going to like wreck me, I guess. It's not really going to make me feel bad because it's like once a week, um, twice a week if I'm lucky. So yeah, that's that. Um, but yeah, TV is a fun thing. I always have two shows at any given time, and I can only watch kids shows at home because of my brother. And then there's shows that I watch when I'm home alone. Right now, I'm watching this show called Team Kaylee whenever my brother's home, and it's about this influencer. She had a minor brush with the law, and now she's stuck with a year of community service with a bunch of middle schoolers and their like wilderness club. And sometimes it can be really stupid, but it's a really fun. It's a really good show, and it's a funny show too. And the characters in it, they're an interesting dynamic. So yeah, somehow it just works. Okay, it just works. So I definitely recommend you watch that show. I love it. My Home Alone show is The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is based on the book series by Jenny Han. You should definitely read the books first though. And apparently there's a third season coming out later this year, like in the summer, so that's fun. I'm on like season 2, episode 2. I think I just finished it. I don't know. I either finished that today or I'm working through it. But yeah, that's that. So I'm looking forward to the third season because so far the show has been really good. I have lots of good TV show recommendations, so I'll probably put them into an Instagram post later this week. Some other good ones are No Good Nick, Young Sheldon, Never Have I Ever, Bunked, Greenhouse Academy, Drake and Josh. I have tons more than this though, so stay tuned for the Instagram post later this week, and it's a great way to spend time alone. Okay, I sort of mentioned this when I said working out, but like was a good way to spend time alone. But going on long walks, I love going on long walks because I find that it clears my head, and I like being outside. Even like short walks. I went on a 30-minute walk earlier today, and I I enjoyed it, especially when the weather is nice out. Like you have to take advantage of that. The weather was nice enough for my walk earlier today, kind of on the colder side, but it was like freezing. My hands were freezing off. My fingers were freezing off by the time I got back. But going on walks is a good way to get some exercise and like clear your brain, which is why I love my walks and my runs. I like my walks better though because these days all I'm thinking about when I'm running is how much pain I'm in because I had to take a 3 week break from running because of the snow. Not very fun when you try to get back into running after 3 weeks, especially considering the fact that I have not been running for very long to begin with, like 2.5 months, 3 months. And I'm starting track April 1st. So I'm kind of screwed. And it's supposed to snow a lot on Tuesday. Well, actually, no, I think it turned to rain. But if it snows, I'm going to be kind of pissed off because I am not doing great on running and I haven't ran in like 5 days again because of my freaking period. So my life is not fun right now. And I'm just kind of scared to start track, but I'm really hoping I get back on track with prepping for track. So that's fun. Okay. If you want, you can do like destination walk, and you can walk to a certain place that is within walking distance, maybe a coffee shop or a park or something like that. Just walk. That's the goal. It seems so dumb, but walking is a way to have fun alone. You can take headphones and play some music while you go on your walk, or something else. You could do like a sunset or sunrise walk. Since daylight saving time started, though, pretty much all my walks and runs have been like sunset walks or sunset runs. And I like seeing all the colors in the sky when I'm running or walking. And yeah, sunsets and sunrises are really pretty and enjoyable, so that's fun. Number 5, go shopping. Okay, so often shopping is something we do with people, no matter who it is. whether it's your family, your friends, whoever. Why not go shopping alone for a change? Maybe there's some stuff you've just been procrastinating buying. I kept procrastinating buying a freaking winter coat until the feels like temperatures were in the negatives. So this can be your justification for a shopping trip, and shopping is fun anyways. I love shopping. You can take as long as you want without being rushed by other people. There won't be anyone to tell you that you're taking too long or judge you for something really stupid that doesn't matter anyways. You can choose which stores you go to. I love Target, but my mom hates it. Plus, the nearest one is kind of far from where we live, so we don't go there that often. If you're in a situation like that, then you can just go whenever you want without people bothering you. Like, how nice did that sound? Annoyance-free shopping trip. Shopping by yourself can be as fun, if not more fun, than shopping with others. Another thing you can do is go thrift shopping. There are plenty of thrift stores around, and you can go to a thrift store and you can find some stuff for really cheap to like thrift or upcycle. You can also find really nice things at thrift stores. No matter what, it's always good. It's always good fun to look through the things in a thrift store. You never know what you might find, whether it's some really nice clothes or a book from your favorite author. And that's the fun of thrift stores. Always something. Number 6, journaling. Journaling is another good way to clear your head and spend time alone. You can go on Pinterest or the internet and search up journaling prompts. It's a great way to learn about yourself and spend a ton of time doing that, self-discovery, yada yada. Another fun thing you can do is writing a letter to your future self, and that's something that I've currently been doing. Actually, you can write it to be opened a week from now or a decade from now, but I think it's a really fun idea. Back to journaling. Okay, journaling can really help with your mental health, and I went through a phase of trying to develop a habit of journaling because of its benefits before realizing it was hopeless because journaling simply wasn't relevant to me. Something that you can try if it interests you though, journaling is even proven to help with anxiety and depression, and I do a version of journaling when I'm freaking out about having like 400 million things to do. Like when I have too much schoolwork at the end of a grading period, or I am like insanely behind with a podcast or something like that. I do a brain dump and then I make a much more organized list of all the things I have to do. And even though I didn't actually spend time getting more things done, the brain dumping makes me feel a ton more in control of my life. And it makes me feel like I have it together. So it's a good thing to do in your free time though. 8, rearrange your room or your general living space. This is so much fun, and you can like completely change a space by just moving even one thing. I remember I decided to move my bed in my old apartment. The whole room felt completely different just because of that one shift. You can just move some things around if you're getting bored of a space. Plus, it's a good way to kill some time. You can play some music if you want. You can make a whole experience out of it. I honestly have no clue what I would change in my room, even if I could, because the place I have my bed in is like the only major things I can move in my room are my desk and my bed. And the spot I have my bed in is the only spot I can possibly go in because of the window and stuff requirements, space requirements, yada yada. My room looks clean, but the sheer amount of stuff in there is concerning, especially after I kept on doing things to lose storage space. And now I have a dump ton of things at the foot of my bed and under my desk that I procrastinated going through for almost a full year, actually. Rearranging a space is a good use of time, though. Another thing you could do if you really have the time and money is completely redoing the space. You could paint the walls a new color, get new furniture, buy new decor, all the things. That would take a dump ton of time and maybe money depending on what you choose to do. Back in 2023, I attempted to redo my room and half succeeded. Like I got a new bed frame, but now I use different color random blankets for my room, like every single week because I've just procrastinated buying bedding for a year and a half. So yeah, probably even longer because I have been thinking about getting new bedding for literally forever. With all like my room phases I went through, like oh my god, I desperately need to buy new bedding though. It's not even funny. I don't know why I've been procrastinating it so much, but yeah, it's bad. Oh, there's this like string of photos on one of my walls, but it's really messed up, and I haven't bothered to fix it. There's a ton of stains on my walls that I have procrastinated figuring out how to get rid of. So those are some changes I would make in my room if I could. Well, actually, no, I could, but I wasn't. But I'm not going to. I should probably get around to doing that, like during spring break, though. Both of those are good ideas, though. Number 9. Okay, so have a glow up day. These are so much fun and one of the best ways to spend time alone, in my opinion. There are so many videos on YouTube that are like glow up in a day or 24-hour glow up challenge, stuff like that. But it is definitely something you should try. I remember I used to do these kinds of things the day before my birthday or a big event, before the first day of school, before anything really important. But now I haven't done a glow up day or something like that in over 2 years, and now thinking about it, I really should do these again. They're so much fun, and you'll feel so pretty and confident for a while afterwards. Try doing like every single possible beauty care thingamabob you can think of. Hair mask, face mask. You can shave. You can do your everything shower. Get your hair and nails done, or maybe paint your nails instead. Try some new hairstyles, every single thing you can think of, and then do them over the course of the next 24 hours or maybe like 2 days. Stretch it out for a week if you want to. It's a ton of things to do, so you're definitely going to be busy. What I did was like oiling my hair. I would work out like normal, everything shower, face mask. Sometimes instead of oiling my hair, I would do a hair mask before like washing my hair. Lip mask or like a lip treatment, painting my nails, all those things. I would also do other things like trying out new hairstyles or coming up with like new outfit combos. You'll feel amazing by the end of it, and you'll also feel that way for like days or weeks afterwards. It's amazing. Another thing I used to do all the time when I was bored is online shopping. Online shopping is so much fun, and you can spend hours on end doing so. Just go on like some clothing site or whatever you like, and fill up your cart with things that you want. You don't even have to buy anything. Sometimes it's just as much fun, if not more fun, because you aren't spending any money to just window shop online. I do this all the time on Shein and other clothing sites, and then when the time comes that I actually have to buy clothes, I have a cart with things I can consider and filter from to get good things. And maybe you have clothes that you've simply been procrastinating buying, like a winter coat or something like that. Seasonal clothes too. It's definitely getting warmer as we go through February and head into March, so spring clothes are something to consider. Kind of goes along with um, this is creating a Pinterest board of clothes you love. Pinterest is amazing for literally anything, but you can find such good outfit inspiration for every style and every budget on Pinterest. Save them all to a board and look at it when you need clothing inspiration. Look up like spring clothing stuff and find some things you like, or see if there's anything that you have to buy going into the season. 11. Watch the sunrise or sunset. Like I said, you could go on like the sunrise or sunset walk, but like setting up to sit there and watch the sunrise or sunset is like something else entirely. You can have it's like a great way to start and or end the day, a pretty way to do that. You can take a blanket and make yourself like a little picnic thing for breakfast or something like that to eat while watching the sunrise or sunset, or like you can just eat it afterwards. You'll probably be hungry anyway. I feel like it's a great way to start or end the day. You can just be alone with your thoughts and you can look at something really pretty. If you have a long day ahead of you, it's the perfect way to find some peace or to start or end your day. Sometimes I would just sit at my window during the summer and look at the sun setting and just sit there for half an hour to an hour and just do that. Sometimes the peace and quiet are just what you need. 12. Try out a new creative hobby. There are hundreds and hundreds of hobbies that exist, and you should definitely try them out. But in my opinion, even though creative hobbies like painting take the most work and most money and stuff, they're always the most fun and they often kill the most time. You can spend hours on end working on a painting and refining it to do a hardly even decent do a hardly decent painting. It took me at least 3 to 4 hours. I used to paint all the time and now I don't really do that anymore, but I should get back into it because I loved it and it took up a ton of time. Speaking of creative hobbies, if you go on michaels.com and go to their classes and events section, there are tons of free online classes you can sign up for. There's one for every creative thing ever, from knitting to sketching to painting to baking, crochet, a ton more. Never mind supplies they put under the class like supply list though. You can go to the dollar store or Walmart and get the same stuff for like a fraction of the price. That's what I did. Oh, and also if you choose to do the painting ones, just ask in the classes how you can make a certain color if you don't want to buy it in order to save money, because really all creative hobbies are kind of expensive. Not all of them are crazy expensive, but creative hobbies are normally the most expensive ones. But you can try baking, scrapbooking, photography, painting, drawing, scale mini building. And there are a dumb ton more that I can name, but it would take forever to do so. So, no. Just try it in creative hobby. You'll find one that you like, trust me. 13. Visit your local library. Libraries are so much fun. You can find just about any book you could ever want. Otherwise, just go online and place a hold for it. If it's a really popular book, then yeah, you're definitely gonna need to place a hold for it. You can also check out like movies, TV shows, games. Plus, depending on what library it is, there are also like events happening for just about everything every single day. story times for little kids, candy making events. I volunteered at a tea tasting thing this one time over the summer. That was actually really fun, and the tea was really good. Some libraries have small collections of useful things you can borrow as well, like baking supplies or camping gear. There are also author visits and book clubs that you can attend. I know at my local library, plus the other ones nearby, there are live music events / concerts that you can attend. Most of them also have book sales. I know that mine has a winter book sale and a summer book sale every single year, and the books are like mostly in like pretty decent condition. Maybe there's some older folded pages and writing in the books, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I just want to read the book. Paperbacks are $1 and hardbacks are $2, so they're insanely cheap compared to what you would find in a regular bookstore like Barnes & Noble or something like that. 14, go on a bike ride. So right now, at least where I live, the temperatures are fine-ish, kind of on the colder side. So if you wore like a sweatshirt or something, you would be okay. But bike rides are fun and also like kind of relaxing. You can kind of just be with yourself and in your thoughts and just like pedal away. Or if you want to, you can bike to somewhere close by. Biking somewhere takes a quarter of the time it takes to walk and twice as much time to drive on average. So yeah. And if you don't own a bike, you can just rent one for not that much. I know that in my old neighborhood there was this kind of like abandoned parking lot. I think it was a parking lot for a hospital that was there, but the hospital closed down for whatever reason, and then the parking lot was just kind of abandoned. Everyone who lived nearby used it for biking around. There were a few spots there, like near there, and one in the parking lot area where you could like rent bikes. I don't really remember how much it was, but it was really cheap for the amount of time you could have it. So that's another option if you don't own a bike, or maybe you've been meaning to get a bike. Go get it now. No time like the present. 15. Learn a new language. Learning something new is always a great way to spend your time. Maybe there's a language you've always been interested in learning, or maybe there's some foreign country you've always wanted to visit, and you can learn the language language that's spoken there for a trip someday. These days, there's so many online resources that we can all use to learn a language, and a good chunk of them being free depending on how much time you want to dedicate to learning this language. You can check out foreign language books from the library. Duolingo offers bite-sized lessons that you can do whenever you get the chance. Sites like Udemy offer courses in foreign language. There's this thing called Lingopie that offers TV shows or just like shows in general in a language of your choice. You have to pay for that one though. I used a free version of Duolingo, and April something marks 2 years of me doing Duolingo, and I can hold a pretty good conversation in Spanish now. You learn a lot surprisingly fast with Duolingo, but learning a new language is always a good way to spend your free time alone. 16. Do some solo traveling. You can go on a day trip. I just realized it hasn't been 2 years. It would have been a year of me doing Duolingo, by the way. Anyway, that was stupid. So, solo traveling. You can go on a day trip, you can go on a vacation to the outside of the world, or have a staycation. Traveling is always fun, whether it's by yourself or with other people. I have a long list of places I want to go on solo trips, and I hope to go to all of them before I die. Maybe you have a list like that somewhere. Go take a look at it and find one of those places you can tick off. This is by far the hardest and probably most expensive because trips were never cheap. And these days, absolutely nothing is cheap because of freaking inflation. But if you think you have the means of going on a solo vacation, definitely do it. It's a great experience and you'll have a ton of fun even if it's by yourself. It doesn't matter what you do or how far you go as long as you have a good time. Make a list of fun places near you that you could take a day trip to, or maybe you could do a staycation where you plan a series of day trips and essentially use your home how you would a hotel. I can name about 10 different places I could do a day trip to, all of those places being 3 hours away at most. You don't want to go any more than like 4 hours away for a day trip because it might get to be too much. But if you leave really, really early and are fine with coming back like really, really late, then you can go places further away. Just have fun. That's really the goal. That's the point. Okay, so that was all I had to say on spending time alone and also how to do that. I hope it helps and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, to end our episode today, I have a quote for you guys from an unknown author. It goes, "Solitude is the soil in which the soul's mightiest flowers grow." Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Please, 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 please go follow me on Instagram. Drink some water, and I love you all.